Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Mosk Pod. Today will actually, surprisingly, be our last episode of this semester. So we got a lot packed in, a lot more sports. Off-season stuff for MLB is pretty quiet, but stuff surrounding the Mets and Yankees. I also didn't feel too well this past week, so I'll try my best to keep you up here and keep talking, keep the groove on this podcast, and not miss an episode. So yeah, we'll get to NBA, MLB, like I said, off season, NHL, Rangers, just still doing their thing. Uh, Not much else to say there. Uh, you got NFL, really fun stuff. Eagles, even though they lost, are still the top team in the NFL. They could afford a loss. They played tough 49ers team. Uh, Pretty much a blowout. Uh, Eagles, again, they could afford a loss. It might be good for them to afford a loss because kind of build and recover from and learn based off them rather than winning all the time. Obviously, winning is good. We say it all the time. You want to have the best record, and it just really seems hard to have the best record and then be under pressure to be the top team in playoffs and by the time the Super Bowl comes to win that. But with all sports too, and that's the case with everything there. Uh, we'll get into Iona too. They actually have a men's game tonight and a Gale Gate this afternoon, which I'll be at. I hope to see some of or most of our Gales there. That's at 4:30 with tree lighting and a little bit of Gale Gate activities, just getting everyone together prior to the game. I honestly want to see just an improvement from what I saw last game, last home game, because they actually beat the really bad the Stags. They beat them. They have like a 1-9 record, and at least the men's beat them. That means they could win a game in these MAC games overall. Tonight it's not a MAC game; it's a Hofstra, and they're pretty good. I saw they had 5-2 record. They have Silas Sunday, who used to be or was last year Iona Gale. He was a backup sort of center, rarely played, but he contributed. I would say when he did, he was actually on my floor. We were living like right next to each other, and we always bumped into each other. So uh, it'll be good. I don't know to see our former Gales. Uh, Iona, the men's, they even take on St. John's. There's just so many talented former uh, Gales on that team with Bettino, the coach, and Jenkins and Cruz Davis. There's some others, and then you have the players in Florida. I saw Walter Clayton Jr. Last year, back player of the year. He scored 26 as a starter for Florida Gators, and they're rolling too. He's their main scorer right now. It's good to see one of those top colleges, former Gale, playing best basketball for them. I think Nelly Jr. Joseph's doing okay in New Mexico. They're right now they're playing easier teams. That division's pretty good though. I look forward to what he can do going forward. They have Patino's son, Richard Patino. Pretty cool. uh, and I think we also played them last year, so the Patino connection there was pretty fun to watch because it was live television and all. So at least we got to see it and them sort of reconnect there. But other than that, yeah, I look forward to tonight seeing the men's play. I do gotta submit a paper and all because man, we got finals starting next Wednesday, and crazy times there. And I just look forward to a break after. But Mosk Pod has been a blast again, and such a success this semester and continuing on. As we have one more left, starting next semester, being middle of January. And we look forward to closing it out there. I do not look forward to the end of it because I love this series. But gotta enjoy the moment while it lasts. So next semester we'll be back. I hope to again encourage more. I know we had Jordan, Vincenzo back. I do look to encourage more people to come on. Um, Obviously, if any of the Gales want to come on, I welcome them. And you know, anyone else from Gale Nation, obviously, um, who I see on the outside, maybe neurodivergent students, and we want to bring up that topic a little bit. I would love to do that and encourage them to sort of speak on that point. Uh, Other than that, yeah, I will stick with sports, but I will look to incorporate more so we have a little widespread of what we do here on the Moss Pod. Uh, and yeah, with that, I wanted to get into the MLB offseason. Within the past 2 days, the Yankees they acquired this guy Verdugo, Alex Verdugo. They didn't give up. The Yankees didn't give up much for him, but he's a good underrated sort of booster to your lineup. I I think it was a good pickup. I just don't know if it will sort of improve their lineup. It's a younger guy. It's a powerful guy. Pretty inconsistent, but I would say a clutch player. And sort of the Yankees sort of needed that. Um, I don't know. I don't think it's a damage to the lineup acquiring him. I think it will help them. I don't know if it will bring them much further though than they were. So, the offseason is basically recently just started. So I look to for them to make more moves as we go forward. But Verdugo, yeah, he's been a veteran, I guess. He's been on the Dodgers and then, went to the Red Sox in the Mookie Betts trade there. Uh yeah, there were also a lot of other people involved in that. Red Sox and Dodgers have throughout the past years been, trading their players to to each other. It's been a thing with that those two teams and some others too. Uh, I don't know. It just seems like a thing. Red Sox, Dodgers have a connection of trading players to each other. Um, Even with Kike Hernandez, who went from the Dodgers to the Red Sox back to the Dodgers. Yeah, it just seems like those two uh have those connections of trades uh and familiarity with each other. It's worked out for both of them too. But Red Sox now with Verdugo gone, they lost everything from that Mookie Betts trade, and you know, I don't. I think Turner might be gone. I think he will be gone. He's just not gonna do anything. I'm talking about Justin Turner, not Trey Turner. Justin Turner for the Red Sox. Again, a former Dodger, went to the Red Sox. That's what I'm talking about here. Uh, Turner is a free agent. I think he'll move on. I don't know where though. Shit. Maybe I'll take a guess. I have no clue actually. Uh, who needs a second baseman? I think. Um, Arizona Diamondbacks. Maybe I don't know. They're looking to add people. They already got Suarez. I think they can acquire more talent in their lineup. Their pitching is great with Gallen and Kelly and all that rotation. Some young prospect guys and Corbin Carroll on the offense with Suarez will be a powerhouse. Christian Walker is underrated too as a first baseman and power hitter. So I think they can get a lot going, and you know step up. Maybe not World Series again, but step up from where they were last year. Just you know, offensive and pitching wise. Bullpen, I thought it was okay. You know, obviously we had that whole story about Paul Sewald, former Met, really popping up with these other teams, except for the Mets, which a lot of players do. It's just a thing. But yeah, and speaking of the Mets, actually, Mets got Luis Severino, and if I recall, last week on the Mosk Pod, Wednesday at 1 o'clock. I think it was towards the end of my episode, but I mentioned Luis Severino as a backup option. You could get a little 1 year deal with the Mets. What do you do? He did exactly that. He got a 1 year deal with the Mets. You know, not traveling far from Yankee Stadium all the way to Citi Field. It's not too bad. It's only a few miles. Um, a lot of traffic though, some days. But he's heading to Queens. And this could be sort of a chancy risk you're willing to take, you know? So he's a former All-Star. He has All-Star potential. Like when he's healthy, he's very good. Not I'm not talking about DeGrom level or Scherzer level. I'm just talking about his game is pretty nasty, and his pitches, you know, are pretty nasty as well. They can fool you, and you know what a good pitcher does: throws fastballs, curveballs, sliders. Uh, when he has it going, he has it going, and his injury, his injury prone, um, reputation. It's still in play here. It's still in play with every player in the MLB. That's how I feel about it. And with him, though, yeah, you're gonna chance him getting injured pretty pretty simply put. He will, you know, have a point where he'll be out of the rotation. But again, if you put him at a fourth position and you get like Yamamoto, the free agent from Japan, if you get him at number three, Senga at number one, and like Quintana stays, he could be number five, I guess. Uh, I don't know. Then you put someone else at two. It will be a little bit of a adventure with that. Um, that's why I look for the Mets to add a few more starters, honestly, and the rotation with Diaz fully healthy now, they can add a few, but I'm looking at starting pitching because that's going to be key. You know, bullpen's also very, very key. Underrated part of the offseason. Um, they can eat up some innings late under pressure. It's worth it. But Luis Severino, yeah, I think he'll be a good addition if he could stay healthy for like most of his starts, I would say. Even half the season would be a win, but I would look for more out of him. Uh, Again, 1 year deal. It's it's a low amount of money too. It's uh it's very cheap. It's not a bad ac- acquisition here we're talking about. You again, former All-Star has so much potential. If he can have a solid season this season, it's worth it. Even if he doesn't pitches for like quarter season, it's a risk. I mean, what do you what do you want from the MLB offseason? You want starting pitching, guys that can, you know, eat up some innings again. He'll be able to do that. He's shown. Joey Wendell, also utility player. He won't play every day, but he's a good utility player, I guess. Former, he was in the World Series with the Rays. Didn't win that, but Marlins didn't go his way. It's another, well, not a risk with the utility players, but he can get some starts in, get some hits. Not much else from him. Defense is pretty good, so I guess that's a win there. Uh, and then the Mets just acquired a few prospects too. Not much there, honestly. We had also Sonny Gray. I think I mentioned that last week though, because he did sign right that day. Sonny Gray signed with the Cardinals. Big deal, 3 year, and you know they are the MLB is sort of getting it going finally with this off season, and it's always a good time to watch. We'll see where Otani lands. I don't think it will be in New York. Uh, Maybe California, Dodgers, uh, Padres. No, not the Padres. Sorry, the Giants. I always get them mixed up. I don't know why. Texas. I don't see any of the Texas teams. Uh, Honestly, I could see the Dodgers. He won't go far. I think he will leave the Angels though. So I leave it up to the Dodgers versus the Giants for him. But I'll go with the Dodgers. He'll enter the National League and you know, really perform out of his mind again, like he always does. There's a few other offseason. I would actually like to see the Mets get a guy like Jordan Montgomery who can go far, but like is a good he's a good like third starter. He's a postseason pitcher, like we saw with Texas. He won that World Series this past season. Was very good for them with Evaldi and I think Gray and others. Um, we'll see though. I really want to start like Montgomery over Eduardo Rodriguez or someone. Either one would be good because they're good starting pitchers. But Jordan Montgomery would round it out a little better, I think, as a mid starter with Severino either in front or in back of him. It would be a good rotation, but again, we would have to acquire so many starting pitchers and have some depth behind them, while trading away some utility players like Luis Guillorme, even bullpen pitchers like Drew Smith, Jeff Brigham, all them who really, were inconsistent for us. Brigham had a terrible season coming from the Marlins. He started out so well, but couldn't keep it up. Uh, yeah, more to come from MLB. Really exciting stuff though. Really exciting offseason. Otani being the head of it. So we'll see what happens there. Um, NBA. We saw the Knicks in season game last night. We saw them compete for the first half and really I actually think they competed the second half, but it was like Milwaukee was just too much. They won by 25 and, blown away at the end because Lillard, uh, Beasley was pretty good. Again, at the beginning of the season, I was like, he's going to be a difference maker too. He has been. He's been a great shooter. Really, really talented squad here when he's going and Lillard, he'll have it going. He already started to get it going. He has like 25 points per game. His last like 5 or 7 games. Milwaukee is now in first place and rolling from here. Brook Lopez defense, Giannis Antetokounmpo. We haven't even mentioned their best player, the Greek Freak. Incredible guy. Really funny interview last night with the in-season tournament and the prizes they get. He didn't even know he won that much for winning that game and heading to Las Vegas and all now for the uh, semifinals and the championship game for the in-season tournament, which has been such a success now that I've seen all the games in this tournament. It's gotten into such a great system where every game is like so competitive and fans are into it. It is like a playoff atmosphere. It's pretty incredible, but it's a one game elimination, and that makes it even more fun. Sort of like the Super Bowl. You win the whole thing. You lose, you don't. So, uh, it's all for cash and bragging rights, and it might get them a good spot in the standings of the East versus West. Um, yeah. So basically, Knicks did lose. Randall had a great performance. Lillard got it going for the Bucks on technical bow, all steady enough to get them above. And Beasley was shooting lights out. Lopez on D. Portis off the bench. Even Campaign. I like Cameron Payne. He has the name Campaign, supposedly. Appa- like his name is Campaign. Um, but you know, it, it's two words. Um, we'll leave it at that. But he's been solid for them off the bench. Former Sun, Thunder, all that. Um, and then for the other matchup, we had the Lakers moving on versus the Suns. I thought that was competitive, but both teams could have done a lot better. So many turnovers by the Suns. They were on pace to get 40 turnovers after the first quarter. They ended up with 25, which is still a lot, and that won't win you games, and that's what it came down to. Austin Reeves with that clutch shot. Very inconsistent, but he shows up at the right moment, and he got them the win. Simply put, at the step back, nothing but net three. Um, it was a fun game though, even though not the most like competitive offense. It was mostly defense and rebounding that you know made it close and low scoring. Closest scoring too out of all four games. Pacers very very good team right now. Moved on versus Boston Celtics, who I had winning the in-season tournament. That ain't happening now. Uh, they towards the end. I watched towards the end. They already had like a 5 point lead, but they kept building and building on it with threes. And Halliburton had his first triple double, which surprised me. I thought he had one already, but he got it. And at the end, he also hit a three and the foul, which that sealed the deal right there for me. But he healed, followed up with two threes, one at the buzzer too. Just I don't know. It's his point differential doesn't even matter here in the in season, postseason. Um, if we want to call it that, and you know, it's just a point differential that doesn't even matter. Yeah, at the buzzer, whatever. Pacers look good. Pelicans beat the Kings, which I didn't have on paper, or did I? Maybe I did with the Williamson, McCollum, Ingram. I think I did actually. The Kings just they they haven't won anything postseason wise in a while. It kind of carried over here, and the Pelicans got their win with their young squad. Um, yeah, those were the four, right? Yeah, because Lakers, Bucks, we got the Pelicans and the Pacers. So should be good. We got the Pacers versus the Bucks tomorrow. And the next day we got Kings, or sorry, not Kings, because they lost to Pelicans, who will be playing the Lakers. LeBron James out of his mind at age 39. It's incredible what he's doing. 21st season in the NBA. That's 1 year less than I've been born, and it's incredible. Um, and yeah, I look forward to all those matchups. We have NBA today, Wednesday. Every other team except for the in-season tournament is happening, and then in-season tournament happens Thursday. Picks up on Thursday. So all the teams will be playing then, and then following that will be the finals where they win money and whatever. It does not count in the finals for the standings, but the semifinals does. Just because of matchups don't get placed correctly and all that. Um, So yeah, they'll compete with that. It will be fun. I added the I mentioned last week that I would add the best teams to sort of a top 20 because I did my milestone episode 20 last week, and this is the 21st. Um, I added a 21st team. Simply put, I added in the Toronto Raptors. I don't think I even added the Suns last week, and I have no idea why. I think I totally forgot about that. Kevin Durant, Devin Booker alone. I don't care about the record, honestly. The record's good right now, but at the beginning it wasn't selling it wasn't selling a lot of people that they were playing well. They weren't actually playing well. But when you have Booker, you have Durant, Beal is still injured, man. I don't know when all three of them will be healthy together. It doesn't seem like it'll happen for a while, but it should happen if Beal comes back, next few games. Durant and Booker are healthy now that they're back. Durant actually has been most consistently putting on a show for them all season long without much injury. Durant put on a show last night. Booker was a little off. Just was not enough to beat LeBron James, Anthony Davis, even Austin Reeves. All of them. It wasn't able. It wasn't enough to beat them. Defense really, and too much fouls, turnovers, all that. There was a big difference there, which caused them to honestly lose the game to the Lakers. Um, yeah, so it should be really fun. I had all the top teams. Even my Brooklyn Nets made this list because of their young, always hustling and you know putting up a fight. Um, all the top teams are there, East West, and now the Raptors and the Suns to each division. So we'll add in more as we go. Maybe next semester or not. We'll see where we end up and talk more about NBA. But I'll leave you with that because NBA in season tournament is really key right now. If I had to make a prediction, Pacers versus Bucks. I know the Pacers are so young and strong, but I'm going with the Bucks. Lillard on Antetokounmpo, Middleton, Beasley, Lopez as the starters. They're going to play most of the minutes, and they're also going to put on a show. Pacers are going to put on a show too, so I really look forward to the matchup. I do have the Bucks, and we won't go into a blowout situation because it's going to be competitive. I think it'll be Bucks by 5 points, 123 to 108. And I only put the scoring that high with competitive basketball because both of those teams put up high numbers. Pacers are the highest scoring team in the NBA this season. Halliburton putting on a show, healed again. You got Toppin off the bench, been playing well, I think. Bruce Brown, off-season acquisition. Matherin, Neesmith, all them. And I mentioned the Bucks already, so should be really competitive and really good game there. For the other matchup, Pelicans versus Lakers, I always gotta go against the Lakers. I was wrong with the Suns versus Lakers outcome, but I'll go with the Pelicans. Young squad, really confident. Uh, Pretty good record early on. Lakers have their guys that can do it, and they can obviously win this game easily. But I'm going with the Pelicans, just showing up, outplaying the Lakers and all. Uh, should be a good upset. I don't know if it will happen, but that's what I'm predicting. With all that talent. So, and then obviously we have the finals. If it were Lakers versus, not the Lakers, man, I keep getting confused. Okay, so if we had the Pelicans versus the Bucks in the finals, then I would go with Milwaukee, sticking with my Uh, Number one pick in the East, Milwaukee. They can even win the championship if they wanted to. And even if they were healthy and all. Which, it's not an injury prone squad at all, except for their utility players, some of their utility players. But yeah, I would have the Bucks winning this, and I even had the Bucks winning the championship possibly. Um, so if they can win both, that's amazing accomplishment. Even in season is their first step, and it would be a great accomplishment there too. So NHL Rangers remain the best team. I think they're like 15-4 or something. We can fact check that right now. Um, before I move on to the NFL. Haven't been watching too much NHL, as you could tell. But I do like to incorporate everything in this. Metropolitan Division, yeah. The Rangers, man, they're incredible. 18-5. They did lose their last game, but 18-5, you can't argue with that at all. Then you got, the New York Islanders, 10-7. It's good, but they're not one of the top teams. Top 5 in the Metropolitan Division, even top 4. The Devils, 2 spots behind them. Let's see, the Devils are 12-10. So all these teams that we looked at the beginning, that the Devils and the Islanders had losing records, um, they're getting it going now, and it's good to watch some good hockey in this Metropolitan Division and this area overall. Did I forget the Sabres? I don't want to forget the Sabres. Sabres are bad. 10-14. Second to last place in the sorry, not the Metropolitan, Atlantic Division we're talking about now with, teams like the Bruins, Lightning, all those East Coast teams. Uh, should be competitive season overall. But Rangers, yeah, looking incredible still. And don't see that laying up anytime soon. They're pulling out these crazy wins here, every which way. Uh, yeah. If we're looking at NFL, again, the Eagles are incredible, only getting their second loss their last game versus the 49ers. It was a blowout at the end. It seemed to be a competitive game. I didn't watch the full. Uh, but, the 49ers defense was getting it going and forcing the Eagles to kick field goals and all that just wasn't enough, and 49ers offense overpowered. I think Eagles can turn around from this and, really keep their foot on the gas for the rest of the season. But they have a pretty good lead right now. Cowboys not too far behind them, honestly, but Eagles are in command right now, and with a couple more wins, they could seal the deal here and focus on the postseason. But for now, it's all about their regular season games. Have to be the Cowboys, outplay the Cowboys, which they have done this season. And the Giants and Commanders are really falling off, even though the Giants had an off week and won their past two. Um, with Tommy DeVito and all. Lions still looking good in that NFC North. Um, we got the NFC East, which we talked about. Eagles, Cowboys, very competitive there. Dolphins being those Jets, 3-game winning streak. Um, it's incredible. Dolphins, even after the Jets win, got their last win. They played the who'd they play? The Tit- Titans. Oh, they had 2 games. What am I saying? So they won by 30 versus the Commanders, and that was last week. And then the Jets was the week before. No, so I am right. The Jets, they also have coming up on the 17th, so not this weekend, but the following, as they, wrap up sort of 5, 6 games left in this season. Only a few more weeks. maybe about a month or so left. And then we see playoffs in the Super Bowl in February. Uh, Other teams, Chiefs always look good, Mahomes and all. I know he's injured, but he should be back soon. Kelsey, incredible. Ravens, really underrated season, 9-3. Uh, I like what they're doing overall. They still have good quarterback in Lamar Jackson, their quarterback. Odell Beckham and all. Really good team there. Look forward to if they can make a run in the postseason. Really, really controlling that division over the Steelers and the Browns. Bengals with Burrow in last place, 6-6, not bad, but they're just going downhill. Uh, and then AFC South, we have the Jaguars, pretty incredible. So yeah, again, two Florida teams doing really well. In the Jaguars and Dolphins, and the Buccaneers, not so good. Uh, that is all I have for NFL. Uh, should be competitive as we go down. All these games I've been watching have been pretty good. Really exciting stuff. A lot of flags lately too. Uh, Nothing you could do about that for now. But um, really competitive stuff this season. And look forward to the last 5, 6 weeks of this season left. Um, then I was going to move on. So I was going to do a um little Iona. We have about 10, 15 minutes left. So I was gonna go Iona, then Army stuff, since I do work at Army and they have a big game coming up. Their only game this week in that sort of home-ish bound. We will get into that. So first off, Iona men's basketball, as mentioned at the beginning of this episode, they'll be playing tonight. They take on Hofstra. Um, their last game at home was not good last Wednesday. They had a win in Fairfield, and then now they play tonight. Uh, Coach Anderson was doing something upstairs with all the students. It was pretty cool. He always gives a speech like last week, and it should be fun with the Gale game and then the actual game tonight. Really getting in that holiday groove. So, I really want to see fans show up and the most importantly, the team show up because last week was not a good look. Uh, so many free throws missed, and that really did determine the game because they only lost by, you know, 4 points or something. Uh, it was close at the end, but not close throughout, as Iona really struggled to get anything going. So did Marist. It was not a good game, played both ways. Iona should be better tonight. It's a very competitive Hofstra team, though, with that 5-2 record. So I I hope everyone packs the hack tonight. Again, that's the saying for the Heinz Athletics Center: pack the Heinz, pack the hack. Uh, it's always a fun atmosphere no matter what, but I hope they play a good game tonight. Really good players and, competitive guys who can get us some wins, but they tonight I hope they can compete. We got um we also got a game this Sunday, I think. But women's, yeah, they're home finally after like a month or two away from home. Women's been playing a little better, few wins lately. They'll come home. They'll play a few before the MAC tournament. MAC sort of in division, season series versus all teams. This Sunday at noon, really early game. Look forward to watching them for the first time in person. Play together, and you know, it should have yeah, another good competitive squad like last season. Just little learning to do this season because so new of a team, just like the men's with that one player, Shima back. Um, but yeah, women's, yeah, and they should be good. They had very impressive win versus Providence the other day. Um, just really impressive stuff. Noah Givon had a really good game, 20 off the bench, I think it was. She comes off the bench now. She was one of the players from last season, so there are a few from last season that are here still. But a lot of new players. Sierra D'Angelo, El Vicardo, um, very good players there. Um, I look forward to seeing them at home on Sunday, and then the men's at 5 o'clock that same day. So a few hours in between. Hope the men's play well that day too. Should be two good games. Um, and both in the Heinz, we'll make sure to pack the hack again, and hope Gale Nation shows up for that. We got um, I guess nah, not too much at Iona is going on other than basketball. There's a few things here and there. Um, Club stuff for me, honestly, and finals coming up is taking over. I got lucky though. Army does not have anything this weekend except for the big game versus Navy. So what's Army saying? It's beat Navy or beat whoever you're playing, but beat Navy this weekend. I've been working for Army just this past semester. This semester currently too, and started working their basketball games and all. Has been such a great atmosphere. Uh, Even though they have an awful record, they were 0-7 before playing the one I worked. I worked one prior where they lost to Quinnipiac and another team in the MAC. Um, they really didn't look good there. So this game versus Maritime, not Marist, Maritime. So Maritime is a SUNY school in the Bronx apparently, which I didn't even know till we played them because I'm a Connecticut boy. I'm all Connecticut. But I work in New York at Army as an intern, so it's been fun. It's been a long commute, but it's been really worth it. Working in basketball, football, volleyball, even starting wrestling. I do not work hockey, but I work, yeah, wrestling. Tennis is a spring sport. They have that. Um, a lot of introducing new sports here. Um, they have any sport you could think of though, and I'll be working it. But we got the Army versus Navy game this weekend. It's at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Some of my squad is going up there. I am not as an intern, so I'll be back there the following week as I'm working basketball, men's and women's. But yeah, I was actually there for the first basketball game win of the season. So now they're 1-7. They beat Maritime, who you know fans were trying to stick up for them and all, but it, it's really it was a really great outcome for Army at the end as they built on sort of this 25-30 improbable lead that they never had throughout the season. It's usually the other team and the other way around. So Army versus Navy at Gillette this weekend should be a blast. Uh, Two not great teams again. Football is not a strong suit, but it's always the what the fans enjoy. So Army versus Navy at Gillette, where the Patriots play, should be a pretty good blast of a game. Uh, Sold out stadium and all. Uh, if I was working it, it would be an incredible experience, but it's all good. It should be a great game. Uh, and then yeah, basically next weekend, yeah, is basketball. Same thing here at Iona. Men's and women's take the court Sunday, so we hope to see you all there. Uh, I'll be covering most of the game on my as I do photo shoot for them. And yeah, should be a great atmosphere there too. So that will do it here for our 21st episode, last episode of the semester. I appreciate everyone's support again. I love all the subscribers, all the supporters here. Um, and I hope you continue to watch this Mosk Pod. We'll be back mid-January. I appreciate all the support again. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell for updates on the Moss Pod and all other WIUR Gales Radio updates. And we'll see you on mid January. Enjoy all the sports season, everything going on, and yeah, stay warm. Uh, Hope you guys have a great week. Good luck on finals and all, and we'll see you next month. Thank you.